I have Steven here with NVIDIA. He's from the tech marketing side, and he's going to talk to us a little bit on the GeForce RTX series on laptops, and he'll probably get a little bit more detail than I will. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Steven, very nice
to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so right here we have the Pragmata Sketchbook demo, and what we're showcasing here today is Dynamic FrameGen. So the goal with Dynamic FrameGen is to make enabling FrameGen super easy and take the guesswork out of which mode you need to be in, depending on the performance you're getting in at any moment. And so with FrameGen, there's no latency benefit from rendering frames beyond what your monitor can display, and you can also introduce screen tearing once you go beyond the refresh rate. So the goal is to keep performance right below your monitor's refresh rate, so you're getting maximum performance without seeing any screen tearing. So what we're going to show today is the Pragmata Sketchbook demo. So we're running Dynamic FrameGen right now. This laptop is a 5060 laptop. It's got a 1920 by 1200p display, and it's a 180 hertz display. So what you'll see here is we're going to start this. I'm just going to skip this cutscene.
All right.
So the cool thing about Dynamic FrameGen is it can go up and it can also go down, and it can completely turn off FrameGen in situations like this where you don't need the frame rate. So this is just a static tutorial screen. There's no need to render a bunch of frames here, so it'll smartly disengage, and then once we re-engage the combat here, it's going to slowly ramp back up and make sure that we're getting a really nice smooth experience. And so Dynamic FrameGen is going to be coming to 50 and 40 series.
Okay.
40 series, it's going to be limited to 2x FrameGen and off. And then for 50 series, it can go from off all the way up to 6x.
I have the Nitro 4060 series.
Nice. Yep, so you'll be able to get some improvements there to FrameGen later this spring.
Nice.
And then we'll also talk about some of the improvements to super resolution here in a minute as well.
Cool.
So we can move on down here now.
All right.
So we have the Acer Helios Neo 16S AI, and we're showing Spider-Man 2 here. And so what we're going to be focusing on here is the improvements to super resolution. So we have a new model. It's called Preset M, and it's our second-gen transformer model. It was trained on roughly 5 times the compute of our previous first-generation transformer model. And so one of the key areas of improvement is far object distance and ghosting. So if you notice on these cars here, there's little ghosting trails in the tires as they move along. And so when we switch to the new model,
that should stay there while you switch.
It should be slightly resolved. And so you'll notice that this car right here, there's no real trails behind it. If we switch back, you kind of see like some of the little ghosting trails behind the car right there as well.
Okay.
And then see if we can look at these birds down here as well. They tend to show some ghosting trails as well, especially as they go against like contrasted backgrounds. So we'll see it kind of leaves a little gross ghosting trail there. When we switch to the new model, everything pops a bit more, and the birds are much more crisp, and you don't see that ghosting trail as they fly around. So that's a key area of improvement. And we can slide on down here to our next one. So this is the Asus ROG Zephrus G16, one of the most popular laptops on the market right now. You can get it up to a 5090 laptop GPU, and that's
Beautiful.
what we have here today. We're showing Black Myth Wukong, and we're also going to be focusing on super resolution here as well. So if you notice in the hair, it's kind of shimmering as he's looking around.
Yeah.
And so when we switch to the new model, that's going to be resolved for the most part. You retain better detail of the hair. Individual strands are crisp, and you don't see that shimmering anymore. I'll switch it back one more time for you. So as he looks around, it doesn't look quite right. And so that's a big area of improvement.
Nice.
And then we can also take a look at what happened to our yarn. Okay, we had some yarn here that was a really good example, but I'm not sure what happened to
Somebody used it up.
Yeah, somebody used up our yarn, so we'll have to move on to the next one here.
All right.
So this is Clair Expedition 33 on the Zephrus G14. So you can get up to a 5080 laptop GPU in this G14, which is, I believe, the highest.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really nice laptop. It's one of my favorites personally.
Yeah.
So what we have here, we're going to be focusing on the little battle going on down here. So you'll notice the particles are kind of fading in and out. Sometimes the line detail isn't preserved very well.
Yeah.
When we switch to the new model, it's a little bit sharper, and you see that those lines are preserved better, and they don't fade in and out as
Can you switch it again?
Yep. It becomes a little bit harder to see there, and everything pops a bit more there now. So
Nice.
that's a key. Those are some key areas of improvement, but we're also going to talk about some lighting improvements.
All right.
With super resolution. So come on around here. So this is the MSI Stealth 16 AI Plus. It's a new design for this year. It's much more classy, professional. You could take this to work. You could take it to a LAN party, and no one's going to make any comments. They're probably going to give you good compliments.
Sweet.
And so
I like that keyboard.
yeah, it's very nice. So what we're going to be looking at here is going to be these particles that are floating against like this concrete here. You'll notice that there's some ghosting trails behind those. And we're also going to be looking at the stars in the sky here. They're kind of faint right now. So we're going to switch to the new model. and everything's going to become a little bit brighter. You'll notice the ghosting trails around the laptop, or the particles here are gone, and the stars become a lot brighter. And if you also look at this little flag here, you'll notice that it gets a little bit brighter as well, pops more. So that's another key area of improvement is lighting. But this right here is, I think, the single best example we've found of the lighting improvements with the new model. So this is Cyberpunk. This is Mechrevo. They're a China-only OEM.
Okay.
But if you're familiar with Tongfeng, they ODM for some other brands. So people tend to recall Tongfeng more than Mechrevo. So this is the Phantom Liberty DLC. It's the nightclub overlooking Dogtown.
Okay.
And so right now we have preset K. We're going to switch to preset M now, and you'll notice the lighting becomes much more vivid. Everything pops more. It almost looks like this light ring around the stage here is completely off with the preset K.
Looks like there's a dimmer and they just raised it. That's amazing.
You also notice that the light is diffused better on the floor here next to the stage.
Yeah.
And also a lot of lighting is picked up in these pillars here that is lost with the old model. So this is one of the best, if not the best example we found of the improvements with super resolution. So we're really excited about it.
It's beautiful.
So super resolution is available. The super resolution models are available starting today, or as a few days ago. So what you can do if you want to go ahead and test them out for yourself, you can head over to NVIDIA app, go to settings, go to about. You're going to want to opt into the beta access here. Okay. And then you're going to come over here to graphics, and you have the option to apply it on a per game basis. Okay. Or you can apply it globally. So we're just going to go ahead and wait for it to load here. And then we can come to the DLSS override model presets. We're going to come down here to custom, and then we can select super resolution, and we'll scroll down here. So we have two new models, preset L, which is what we're recommending for ultra performance mode. Okay. And then we have preset M, which is we're recommending for performance mode on 20 and 30 series laptops because they don't have native FP8 support on the Tensor cores, which is needed to run the model at, with efficiency. So we recommend performance mode only for 20 and 30 series. And then if you're on 40 and 50 series, it should be pretty good for performance up to quality mode.
Beautiful.
So, yep.
So I have my desktop, I have a 4090, so it'd be beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited about these models. And like I said, super resolution models are available now, and Dynamic FrameGen is going to be coming later this spring.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.